Hi guys, David07 here, and I thought I would do this video giving you my thoughts on all of the major winners at the BAFTAs last night, as well as what I think this means for the Oscars. Basically, I'm going to be going through the winners of each of the major categories and giving my thoughts on what I think about each of the winners, as well as how likely I think they will be to go on to win at the Oscars as well. But before I start talking about my thoughts on the winners, I first have to talk a little bit about the BAFTAs. I really enjoyed the show last night. I'm a big fan of the BAFTAs. Obviously, it's kind of like our kind of Oscars. It's like the British Oscars in a way. What I really like about the BAFTAs is that it's very no nonsense. You know, the Oscars, there's a lot of drama. The BAFTAs is kind of like, you know, a lot more kind of just straightforward, no nonsense. It's kind of classier, and you know, it can be a little awkward and cringy at times when there's some kind of moments of humour that fall flat, but for the most part I thought it was a really great show last night. Joanna Lumley was her first time hosting, you know, after Stephen Fry kind of stepped down from his 12-year run of hosting the BAFTAs, and I thought she did a really great job. It was a little bit of a shaky start, I felt, but she soon got into the swing of it, and I thought she was really great. I mean, she was a really great presenter, and yeah, I thought the show was really good overall. So let's get into these categories here, and the first one I'm going to be talking about is Best Adapted Screenplay, and Call Me By Your Name actually won, and I didn't see this coming. I mean, I'm glad Call Me By Your Name got something. I think it was the only award it won, so I'm glad it got the recognition there. But I thought they were going to give it to one of the British films, maybe like Film Sergeant in Liverpool, or maybe Paddington 2, but actually went to Call Me By Your Name, and I'm kind of glad it won that actually. I think actually the screenwriter is the oldest screenwriter to ever win an award for Best Adapted Screenplay. I think so anyway. James Ivory, I think his name is. So if he goes on to win the Oscar, I think he will be the oldest screenwriter to ever win an Oscar. I think that's what they were saying. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a lock for the Oscar. I'm not sure if, you know, this is definitely going to win Adapted Screenplay out of the Oscars, but I think it does actually have a much better chance now that it has won the BAFTA. Going on to Best Original Screenplay, it was Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And this wasn't that surprising because Three Billboards did have a great script. I don't think Three Billboards was one of the best directed films of the year, but I think it was definitely one of the best written films of the year. I think Martin McDonagh's script was so great. Obviously there's been a bit of backlash against Three Billboards in the US. I don't think there's any backlash here because Three Billboards got a lot of love last night, and I'm really glad. I was rooting for The Shape of Water for a lot of the awards, but I'm glad Three Billboards got a lot of love as well. And actually, it's a British production. It was, you know, British producers, British writer-director, so I suppose it kind of isn't that surprising, really, when you think about it. But yeah, I'm glad it got a lot of love last night, and it was a really great screenplay. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be a lock for the Oscars either, but I do think it has a much better chance now that it's won the BAFTA. Although that being said, I think the Oscars, it might go to Get Out. I wouldn't be surprised if Get Out wins, you know, or Lady Bird, or I, Tonya was actually really great as well. I think I, Tonya actually had one of the best screenplays of last year. I'm not sure if that's got an Oscar nomination, but I think I, Tonya's script was really great. But I do think Three Billboards does have a much better chance of winning screenplay at the Oscars now that it's won the BAFTA. I don't think Three Billboards has got a chance of winning kind of Best Film or Director at the Oscars, but I do think it has a much better chance of winning Screenplay, especially now that it's won the BAFTA. Going on to Supporting Actor here, and I was very happy to see Sam Rockwell win for Best Supporting Actor. As far as my acting predictions, I was right across the board here, and Best Supporting Actor went to Sam Rockwell, and I was so happy because I was really rooting for him to win, but I didn't really know which way it was going to go here. If they were going to maybe give it to Willem Dafoe, Woody Harrelson, maybe Hugh Grant for Paddington 2 because he's British. But I'm really glad they gave it to Sam Rockwell because I think he was the best supporting acting performance of last year. I think he was absolutely incredible in Three Billboards. Unlike some of the others I was talking about, I think these acting ones now are a lock for the Oscars. I'll be shocked if Sam Rockwell doesn't go on to win the Oscar. I think with supporting actor, supporting actress, actor and actress, I think these are all locks now for the Oscars. I'll be surprised if Sam Rockwell now doesn't go on to get the Oscar as well. So I'm really happy for him there, and hopefully this will carry over to the Oscars. And supporting actress as well, it was Alison Janney for I, Tonya. This is another one of my predictions that I was right on, and I'm really glad she won because she was absolutely incredible in I, Tonya. I definitely think she was the best kind of female supporting performance of last year as well, and similar to supporting actor, I think this is a lock now. Like I said, I'm not 100% certain, but I'll be shocked if these actors that won the BAFTAs don't now go on to win the Oscars as well. I'm pretty sure this is a lock now for Alison Janney. And similarly with Best Actor and Best Actress, we had Frances McDormand winning Best Actress. I was kind of right on this one because I thought it was going to be a two-horse race between Sally Hawkins and Frances McDormand. I really didn't know which one it was going to be, although I kind of knew it was going to be Frances McDormand, but, you know, I was still rooting for Sally Hawkins. She was my favourite. She was the one I was rooting to win, but I wasn't that surprised that it was Frances McDormand. And to be honest with you, as much as I love The Shape of Water, and as great as I think Sally Hawkins was in that film, Frances McDormand, I mean, Three Billboards was very much her film. You know, she carried that movie. It was very much about her. It was a character piece, and she really brought it in that film. It was a really kind of powerhouse performance from her. So it kind of makes sense that it would be Frances McDormand. I thought maybe they'd edge it out to Sally Hawkins, seeing as she's British and they like to favour the British talent. But it did go to Frances McDormand, and it kind of makes sense because Three Billboards winning screenplay, supporting actor, all these other awards. It wouldn't be fair to not give it to the lead actress in the film. You can't really give the film all these other awards and not give it to the actual lead. So I'm glad Frances McDormand won. I was rooting for Sally Hawkins. She was my favourite, but I think Frances McDormand was very well deserved for that award. And I think also now with the Oscars, I think she's a lock. I think it was a two-horse race between Sally Hawkins and Frances McDormand up until this point. But now that Frances McDormand has got the BAFTA as well, I'm pretty sure she's a lock for the Oscar. And Best Actor, not much of a surprise here, Gary Oldman. I was kind of right with my acting predictions across the board. And yeah, everyone else in this category was great. It could easily have been Timothée Chalamet, Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Kaluuya. Jamie Bell also got nominated for a BAFTA as well, and I'm really glad because he was really good in that movie, Film of Stars Stood on Liverpool. But of course, not much of a surprise that it went to Gary Oldman, and like the other acting awards, I think this is a lock now for the Oscars. I think it was already a lock, really, but now that he's won the BAFTA as well, and he's won, the Golden Globe, all these other awards, I'm pretty sure Gary Oldman's a lock now for the Oscar. And Best Director, I was very happy to see it go to Guillermo del Toro. I was actually worried watching the BAFTAs last night when Three Billboards started getting a lot of love and getting a lot of awards. I'm like, oh my god, Guillermo might not win this. And when they said Guillermo del Toro, I was like, oh, thank God. At least it won Director. Shape of Water didn't win as many awards as I was expecting to win, and it was weird because it was nominated for the most awards and more than any film. It had like 12 nominations, I think, but it only won Production Design, which I'm really glad it won that. Music, really glad it won Music as well, and Director. Thank God it won Director. I was rooting for Shape of Water really across the board, but I think it was really deserving of a directing win for Guillermo del Toro. And like all the other acting awards, I think this is also a lock for the Oscars. Best Picture, which I'll touch on in a minute, I think that's still anyone's game, but directing, like with actor, actress, supporting actor and supporting actress, I really think this is a lock now for the Oscars because, he won the Golden Globe, he won the DGA most recently, and now he's won the BAFTA, so I'm pretty sure Guillermo has got this in the bag now. I'm pretty sure the Oscar is his. And going on to Best Film, this is probably the most surprising one actually of last night, although to be fair, it wasn't that surprising after it got a lot of awards across the night, and it was Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Now, unlike a lot of these other awards that I think are now locks to win the Oscar as well, I don't think this is by any means a lock for the Oscars, because Three Billboards got a lot of love here in the UK, and we seem to all love it over here. But in the US, there's some kind of stupid backlash against the movie. So there's a lot of people in the US that have not taken to the movie. I don't think it's got a shot of winning Best Picture. I think it's got a much better chance now that it's won the BAFTAs. But like I said, there's been a lot of backlash against Three Billboards in the US for some stupid reason. So I don't think it's got a chance of winning Best Picture. I think Shape of Water is still very much in the running for the Oscar. I'm really hoping Shape of Water. Like I said, I love Three Billboards. Besides Blade Runner, it was my number 2 behind The Shape of Water. So I'm really glad Three Billboards got the love, and obviously everyone seems to love it over here. But like I said, I don't think it's got a chance of getting the Oscar for Best Picture because of the backlash. I think it's still very much anyone's game as far as Best Picture at the Oscars is concerned. It's probably the only major award at the Oscars that I'm not certain on. I'm hoping it'll go to Shape of Water, maybe Three Billboards, but like I said, there's some backlash there. Maybe Lady Bird. A lot of people seem to really love Lady Bird. Maybe Call Me By Your Name. Maybe Get Out. I don't know. Maybe Dunkirk will get it. I really don't know this year. And it's quite exciting actually, because most years there's always 1 or 2 movies where you're like, it's going to be those two. And I would say it's between Shape of Water and Three Billboards, and I feel like they're my top 2 picks. But like I said, Shape of Water didn't win the BAFTAs, and Three Billboards, there's a lot of backlash against that in the US. So I really don't know which way it's going to go. I would say Shape of Water. I'm really rooting for Shape of Water to win the Oscar. And I say that because even though it didn't win the BAFTA, the past few years, the film that's won at the BAFTAs and the film that's won at the Oscars has been a different film. Last year it was La La Land at the BAFTAs and Moonlight at the Oscars. The year before that it was The Revenant at the BAFTAs and Spotlight at the Oscars. And the year before that it was Boyhood at the BAFTAs and Birdman at the Oscars. So before that, it was often the film that won the BAFTAs went on to win the Oscars. But the past 2 years has caused me to doubt that now, and I don't think, because Three Billboards won Best Film at the BAFTAs, I don't think that's a lock by any means for the Oscars. It's really the only award which I have no idea which way it's going to go. Could be Shape of Water, could be Three Billboards, could be Lady Bird, could be Call Me By Your Name, could be Get Out, could be Dunkirk. I say it's between those, but like I said, I really have no idea which way it's going to go, which is quite exciting actually. So yeah, those are basically my thoughts on all the major winners at the BAFTAs last night. Three Billboards actually getting a lot more love than I was expecting, but to be fair, the more I thought about it, the more I realised actually this is a film for production, British producers, British writer, director. It kind of actually makes a lot of sense, whereas The Shape of Water isn't really British, although I was surprised Sally Hawkins didn't win for Best Actress, but you know, with Three Billboards getting a lot of love across the board, it wouldn't have made sense for them not to give it to Frances McDormand, really. As far as some of these major acting awards, I'd say they're all locks to win the Oscars. It's not certain by any means, but I'd be surprised if these actors that weren't at the BAFTAs don't go on to win Oscars. I think Guillermo is a lock for director as well. The only one I'm not sure on is film. I really don't know which way it's going to go as far as Best Picture is concerned. Before the Oscars comes out, I'll probably do kind of a quick kind of a recap on all of the films nominated for Best Picture. I still have got to see Call Me By Your Name and Lady Bird. I'm seeing Call Me By Your Name on Wednesday actually. I got a ticket for a last minute kind of special kind of screening ahead of the Oscars, so finally get to see Call Me By Your Name, and I think I'm going to be seeing Lady Bird on Friday. As soon as I've seen Call Me By Your Name and Lady Bird, I'll do a kind of overview and kind of recap and rundown of all of the films nominated for Best Picture, giving my quick thoughts on each of the films as well as how likely I think each of them are to win Best Picture. But as of right now, those are my thoughts on the major winners at the BAFTAs last night. Did you see the BAFTAs? What do you think about it? What were your thoughts on the winners? And do you think this changes anything for the Oscar race? Do you think any of the winners last night have a much better chance of winning now come the Oscars? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, if you like this and you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe to see more. If you missed my last review, be sure to go ahead and click over here to catch up on my last review, or perhaps down here to catch up on all my recent videos. But with that said, I've been David O'Sullivan. I'll see you next time.